Ladies and gentlemen, welcome your beautiful faces back to the channel now. This is turning into a little bit of a weekly series, okay, whereby I show you guys my best games of the week, okay? So I add them to a little library folder on chess.com, and I just recap them with you guys, because I show you some truly horrific chess on this channel, okay? Played mostly by myself. Also some other people, but, you know, mainly myself. I also show you guys some high-level chess. Okay, the likes of Magnus, who's just won EWC. Shout out him, $250,000 richer. God, what I would do to be that man. And also sometimes from me. There's a real in-between. I can either play horrifically or very well. But in today's video I'm showing you two games. The first game, as you can see on your screen, we have the white pieces. I was currently situated at about 1293. We've gone up since then, so that's progress. That's always good. And I start with e4. Also, if you're going to enjoy this, smash the like button and subscribe, and I will give you a big hug. My opponent responds with e6. Now, this is obviously the French defence. They are clearly preparing the move d5. So I go ahead and just develop my knight. Very normal looking move, just bringing another piece into the game. And now they go into like this Sicilian variation, which is absolutely terrifying. So I play c3, because against the Sicilian I play the Alpin, preparing the move d4, looking to just override the centre completely. My opponent plays knight c6, and then I play bishop to b5, which is the Rossolimo. There are so many advanced lines in the Rossolimo that I don't have a Scooby-Doo about, so if you're looking for someone to explain the Rossolimo, you gotta go elsewhere, I'm afraid, okay? I play bishop b5, just basically adding pressure to this knight, and maybe at some stage I'll take it to double their pawns. Who knows? They play a6. And now, what do you know? I take the knight, doubling their pawns. It's almost like I played this game. d4 is then played because that's the idea of the Alpins, just take over the centre, as I have now done. They play d5. Now, there's a couple of options here. I could just play knight c3. I could probably just play e5. I could also probably just castle. I do none of which, and I go ahead and just take the pawn, because I'm very greedy, okay? I want to take all the pawns in the world. They recapture with their c-pawn, not opening up the path to their king. I go ahead and short castle. They develop their knight to f6. I then play knight here, and then I bring my rook over to e1. The idea here that I'm trying to set up is, like, I don't know, maybe taking here at some stage, and they can't take back because of the pin. Obviously, the knight could take back. I know some of you are screaming at me right now. That doesn't make sense. So, obviously, this move isn't viable. But always be aware of, like, when you're pinning a pawn to the king with a rook facing it, like, there's always going to be some weird tricks where you can take. Obviously, not an option in this position, but some positions it is. They go ahead and short castle, so now, like, there's no chance of that idea. I go ahead, play bishop to g5, and as you can see, the eval bar, just completely equal. I mean, people always say it, perfect chess is a draw. Luckily, there's never perfect chess at my level, so I never need to worry about that. Just putting pressure on this knight, pinning it to the queen, of course. They play bishop to d7. I develop my knight now. Obviously, if they were to take, I'd take with a pawn, and now they're just completely losing a knight, because if you move the knight, well, then I take the queen, which is the idea we spoke about. So obviously they cannot take this with the bishop, and instead they develop their other bishop. I then just take it. I mean, because, like, why wouldn't I take it? I saw it as a way to completely offset the pawn structure. I mean, it opens up the rook, but that's not really a concern of mine. So obviously my opponent takes back. Guys, this is what 1300 ELO chess is like. Like, they don't always take back. There is a good chance. Bear in mind, they spent over like 30 seconds on this move. They spent 30 seconds on this move. Like, they were probably scared of me taking this knight, and then queen takes, and then me taking this knight, completely damaging this pawn structure. I think what they missed is pawns take diagonally. What? They played bishop to e7. So I, of course, dropped my knight back, because, like, well, now I'm just up a piece. Why wouldn't I do that? They now play queen to b6, putting pressure on my b2 pawn. I lift my queen to d2. Couple of ideas here. It obviously defends this pawn. And if they ever play h6, I'm just going to sack the bishop, because the king would then be completely opened up. Then I'd probably lift my rook at some stage, and it would get very scary for my opponent. They play rook a to b8. I then just push the pawn, so now it's completely defended, nothing you can do. And now they play h6, so now I play the absolute brilliant bishop takes on h6. It only gives it as a good move, but just ignore them, okay? They don't know what they're talking about. Like, look how scary this is for my opponent. The rook is coming. and there is nothing you can do about it. They then take, so I play rook to e3, which is just a good move anyway, defending both of the knights, which are both hanging. So that's that. They play knight h7, and obviously here, I could just give this check, but after like a check like this, I don't know, they probably have like bishop g5, and then like I take, they take with the knight, I take with check. And I don't know, I just didn't really see like where I now win the game. Like it's not really clear like, oh, I meant to draw an arrow. It's not really clear like where this knight's going, how to checkmate this king, because everything seems pretty well defended. So instead of playing rook to g3 check, I just play rook h3. And in this position my opponent resigns, because they have to give up the queen basically. Like they go here, they can block with the bishop, but then I just take. And it's like, you have to take this now. Like, there's no other way. Like, if you don't take this, let's say you play, I don't know, like queen d3, just like trying to defend your knight, well then there's actually knight takes on d3. And so it's like, I don't know, you move this over, check here, oh no, sorry, you wouldn't give a check there, would you? You'd give a check here, because the queen blocks this path, and then after this, it's just this. And that's mate. So that my opponent resigns because the game's just done. Now we jump into game number 2, okay? It was a very clean win in game number 1. Nothing crazy. Game number 2 is a bit more wild, okay? It's not overly accurate. It's not as long either. But I do make some inaccuracies along the way. I'm not perfect. I'm not Stockfish. I know I may look perfect. Guys, don't cook me in the comments, okay? I don't need that added stress. e4, e5, knight f3 and knight c6. Now, those of you that know me know I am a big Spanish player. The bishop goes to b5, the Roy Lopez. What a man, by the way. Knight jumps to f6, this is the Berlin defense, so there's so many lines here. You can play like d3, you can short castle. I think d4 is actually like a move you can play. Yeah, it's given as a book move, like it looks insane, but there are so many lines in the Berlin. I just short castle. My opponent picks up this pawn, probably thinking it's a free pawn, but after rook e1, I'm eventually going to win this pawn back. They jump back, and there's actually the move d4 here. They obviously cannot take, and if they were to take with a knight, well, this is now just a free knight because of this pin, so you can't take back. So that's why d4 is an option. I unfortunately do not play d4, which is the best move. I take this knight, and now my logic is that I want to take this pawn, right? And open up some sort of discovered checks on this king. So I thought I'll take this knight first so it cannot take the bishop. This is actually given as an inaccuracy by the engine. When they take back, I then take with the knight, but they can just block with the bishop now that they've opened up this. So that's exactly what they do. I then just develop my knight, very normal looking move. They develop their bishop, and so I play the move d4, reinforcing this knight. They then just move their knight about. I take the knight. They take back with the pawn. Important to note, if they took back with the bishop, I would have knight takes on c6, which is a discovered check, winning the queen. So they, of course, have to take back here with the pawn, which they do. I then bring my bishop out to f4, just reinforcing this knight, basically. Like, it's just so beautifully outposted. And if you ever take like this just looks absolutely wonderful, this bishop. So, obviously not particularly an option. They play queen f6. Important to note, it may just look like they're putting pressure on this knight, but this bishop is actually undefended. So I, of course, play queen f3 to defend the bishop. They then long castle, and this is where I unleash all hell. I just play a4 immediately, which is immediately flagged up as an inaccuracy. It's not the best of moves. I just want to start putting pressure on my opponent's king, though. Don't hate me because you ain't me. My opponent actually makes a huge mistake here and takes. I'm actually meant to take back with the rook. I really wanted to take this, but I really didn't like this idea of this queen trade, because then you're just going to like kick me all the way back, and it just looks very unpleasant. Wait, can I actually take on f6 here? Oh my god, you can. Oh my god. Okay, so you can actually take on f6 there. But in my head, it didn't look overly inviting. Okay, it didn't look overly inviting. They play bishop to e5, and I take back with the pawn, which is probably a bit stupid, actually, blocking my dark square bishop. But I thought at some point I'd be able to open it up, and everything would be fine. They play queen to g6. I then play a5, just pushing the pawn again. h5 is played, just unleashing all hell my opponent is. So I play a6. I mean, it's just a battle of the flanks here. It's like something out of Lord of the Rings. My opponent plays b6, only real move in the position, just defending from me taking, basically. I then play the move queen to c3. Now, the idea here, of course, very simple. I want to put my queen here, maybe give some checks at some point, start picking up these pawns. My opponent then plays the absolutely horrifying move, bishop to d7. This is a huge blunder. Now guys, I want you to pause the video, comment down below why this move is a blunder, okay? Comment the move I should play in this position 10 times out of 10. 3, 2, 1, I don't know why I'm doing fingers like this, 3, 2, 1, like what is that? e6. And you might be thinking, why the hell am I giving up a pawn here? Why is that good? Well, the reason is because I'm currently threatening checkmate because I've just opened up my dark square bishop. But I'm also threatening to just take this bishop. So it's like you can't defend both at the same time. Because bishop here isn't a move. Like, it blocks my path, yeah. And I can't take it this way anymore. But then I just take it here. So it's like, what was your plan, sir? Not a good idea. But in this position, my opponent finds the absolutely brilliant move, which I completely missed, by the way. Pawn takes pawn. And my opponent just completely hangs mate in 1. I mean, we'll take that all day long. No complaints from me. I was very happy. But it did feel like a very free win. So guys, there's 2 games that I've played this week that I was relatively happy with. Both games have over 90% accuracy. Neither of them particularly long, so it's not overly impressive. But guys, continue to follow me on my chess journey. Subscribe, like the video, comment down below, all that jazz. You guys know what to do by now. And I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.